Okay, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. We had technical issues, but we're back. Hopefully, we are live on YouTube. We weren't live on YouTube for some reason, so you missed out on a whole lot of nothing, but that's not the point. So, Zam will update me, let me know if we are live on the YouTube. We are live because I've seen Vance catch up on the
Yeah,
nine
we're live.
minutes we missed. Thank you, Vance. Yes. If you want to catch up with the epic conversation we had, then go watch the first 9 minutes live on Twitch.
I feel like a refresh
Of
is
course, yeah.
warranted.
No, we're going to do a refresh for anyone catching this later. So, epic breakup between Trump and Musk. And to visualize that for you, let us give you this little gem.
Greatest breakup since Rachel and Ross. One's the welfare queen, the other's the boss. They'll rip each other apart like Rain Man fighting Gump. It's the end of Elon and Trump.
Was there money in that explosion
Yeah,
as well?
yeah. Yeah, I basically when I typed it out in AI, I was just like, I have big explosions and money in the background and all this kind of stuff because that's what it's all about. This whole feud is to do with money. It's not to do with anything else. Well, obviously, fragile egos and a lot of ketamine and drugs do play a part. But unless you've been living under a rock, you would have known that the epic fallout between the bromance between Trump and Musk has happened. The inevitable has happened. It was always a question of when, not if, because Trump is incapable of staying friends with anyone. He eventually always throws people under the bus, and if not that way, then it's the other way. And in this case, they did actually start by throwing Trump under the bus because it didn't start with that tweet that we were talking about earlier, the Epstein tweet. It started before that when they kicked him out of Dodge and blamed him for the loss in Wisconsin. So the loss in Wisconsin, where he plowed in an epic amount of money, was and lost, was the beginning of the end. I mean, he'd already pissed everyone off in the country with the Doge cuts and causing an estimated 300,000 deaths, by the way, from the figures shown with all the aid that he cut. Even a kid that was receiving special medication in Africa that passed away because obviously that's all been cut. So he'd ruffled a lot of feathers, especially home in America. So he was already deeply unpopular, and his threat of primarying anyone that doesn't do his bidding, that threat no longer was what's I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but the threat meant nothing anymore. It was a meaningless threat because it was Wisconsin where he plowed a lot of money, lost, and they're like, oh, okay, great. This guy has no more clout or pull. People don't like him. We could bury him now. We could get rid of him. And that's what's happened, and this is where we are now. Zam, your thoughts?
Okay, for a start, I didn't really think we were going to get here initially because you look at the one person Donald Trump is friends with, and there is no animosity between them. Really, I mean, at the times Trump has questioned Vladimir Putin, but he's still kind of beholden to him. And I really thought that was the case with Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the money. Elon Musk is the true power. People were calling Elon Musk the president of the United States. And so I thought, as far as Elon Musk has got all this money and influence, Donald Trump is going to be beholden to him. So I never really genuinely thought there was going to be a breakup. I just thought Donald Trump was Elon Musk's bitch. But then obviously yesterday happened. And prior to yesterday, there was murmurings of a dispute between these two, and then the tweet of Donald Trump being in the Epstein files, which says, I said earlier, we both already know this. Anyone living, you know, not under a rock knows this. Donald Trump is a nonce, 100%, and he's an Epstein enabler. He loves Epstein. Him and Epstein have been bosom buddies for years, and obviously he knew that, which is why he killed him when he, allegedly killed him when Donald Trump was president the first time round. And it's crazy how the Epstein files haven't been released. Donald Trump was very happy to release the Kennedy files and all of these other files, but he was very hesitant when he was asked about the Epstein files, because he doesn't want somebody to uh, to accidentally be accused of something they're not, which is basically him, because he knows he's going to be
Yeah,
accused
it's all
because
about him. He don't care about anyone else.
yeah, he doesn't give a shit about anyone else. So now that this is being brought up, and Donald Trump now, to a degree, has to kind of like play things down a little bit, because he knows the moment he gets in front of the cameras again, they're going to ask him questions about Epstein and stuff like that. They're going to bring it up again, and they should be bringing this shit up anyway. The fact that anything Donald Trump has done has been same-washed and normalized. The motherfucker was just recently claiming that Joe Biden is dead. He was dead whilst he was president, and a robot was the president of the United States in the previous 4 years. That is a 25th Amendment thing right there. Get rid of him. Like, the guy is not fit to be president. And he says something like that, but then like everything he does, it's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, as we were talking about earlier, is what you'll notice now with Musk is that he's backtracking because he realized he fucked up. And Musk is not, he's not like the other billionaires where he's in a position of with actual leverage. Because when you look at Musk, Musk's fortune was built on him being the world's biggest welfare queen. His companies survived through government handouts, government subsidies. The guy gets $8 million a day for no reason, and he has the audacity to cut everyone else's thing. And the only reason he's mad at the big beautiful bill is because they backtrack on certain cuts that were going to be given to electric vehicles, and so Trump wasn't going to get a nice payout from that or a nice tax cut from that to make more money, essentially, because enough is never enough with these people, and that's why he's triggered, and that's why he's attacking. Now, it's because that bill doesn't benefit him in any way, shape, or form. And the minute Trump said, well, we should look to cut billions from government spending, maybe we start with all the subsidies that we give to Elon Musk's companies, which caused Tesla stock to go down. And now Trump is shitting himself because overnight 40 billion of his net worth was
You mean
completely
Musk?
wiped out. Huh?
You
Musk.
mean Musk? He said Trump
Yeah.
was shitting himself.
Sorry, Musk is shitting himself. He's tripping himself. He's shitting himself because he knows that he can only survive through government handouts. So if they cut off his welfare checks, he's fucked.
SpaceX is done.
He's fucked. SpaceX will be gone. Tesla's going anyway. Starlink could be gone as well, and especially now that Musk won't have the leverage to bully governments into taking on his Starlink thing, which is one of the main reasons why he went after South Africa and we had this whole white genocide bullshit, is because Starlink is blocked in South Africa. They won't let him run it there. And so this is why. Always understand when there is something where that's in the news about some kind of victimhood about a country, always look to which billionaire isn't benefiting from something? Who got cut off from their welfare check? And that's with South Africa is all this kind of stuff. So it's all tied to money and profits, this feud. And Trump is going to be a good little lapdog and eventually go back into his kennel and wait for all this to blow over, for sure.
Yeah, it's weird in a way, because I almost I had no idea who was going to come out on tops on all of this. I mean, I do think the Epstein thing is a very big deal, and it shouldn't be overlooked. And the moment information on that comes out, the better, because I think Donald Trump needs to be arrested and thrown in jail and all of that, and the key needs to be thrown away. At the same time, Elon Musk is somebody who the people on the alleged left in America, the so-called Democrats and whatever, they shouldn't try to build bridges with this guy. He's a fucking Nazi. Yeah, stay away from him. He's a terrible human being. And he'll just you want to align himself with you possibly because you might end up giving him what he wants.
Possibly.
Another regarding Biden's time in power when he could have released the Epstein files. A lot of people are wondering why that was the case. If Donald Trump on it, surely Biden would have released it. But in my opinion, the reason I think the Democrats haven't released it just generally is because it will implement too many Democrats
Yeah.
who have also been on Epstein Island,
Well,
like Bill Clinton.
it's not even the Democrats. It will just implement the rich and powerful people that fund the Democrats as well. So nobody wants this bill to get out. Nobody
And
wants the
Donald Trump was
files to
one
get
of
out
them,
there.
by the way. He
Huh?
used to be a Democrat. Donald Trump was one of them. He used to
Yeah,
be a
he used to be a
Democrat.
Democrat, of course.
Yeah.
He's not some, like, at the time he wasn't some like right winger. It was just a hedonistic, non-political,
No, he was a right
racist.
winger, but he
It
was
was
a
a right
Democrat.
winger, yeah, but he was just a hedonistic moron that didn't care as long as he was making money.
Yeah. It's just because he was from New York and stuff, so he was more likely to play the Democrat and stuff and stuff like that. I don't know how any sort of bridges can be built between Donald Trump and Musk after this. I mean, them two have already were battling each other prior to their friendship. I remember Donald Trump making some comments about EVs, and actually, it was Elon Musk who was playing it sweet. Um, but I think he obviously wanted it to get his hooks into Donald Trump, which he did, and he used Donald Trump to the best of his abilities with his Doge scheme and stuff like that, ruining people's lives. I may add. You know, people when they get into power, they're usually supposed to create jobs. But as soon as Donald Trump into power, so many people lost, jobs that were through the government. Industries that were very important to people's well beings, and they all went. All these jobs went as well. That's why people like myself and yourself, Ginger, when we're seeing this feud between these two people, we are here with popcorn, and our drinks and everything, kicking our feet up, just wondering what's going to be happening next.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, for us looking into this is just beautiful. Seeing right wingers just inevitably tear themselves apart. It happened. It's always going to happen, and it's great to see. But unfortunately, I feel that this is all going to just slowly just disappear. Like, one's gonna go into overdrive to say to Musk, "Calm the fuck down, mate," because your finances will get wiped off the planet. Now, on Trump's point of view, I really hope he gets so fucking mad with everything that's happened, because I guarantee you, behind closed doors, he is seething. He is pissed off, and he's not gonna let this slide. Musk, on the other hand, will try to make amends. But Trump, I'm hoping, just says, "Right, just fucking destroy this guy, destroy his companies. I want him buried." And I mean, either way, it's just going to be very entertaining, very
It's weird.
entertaining.
It's weird to see who's going to be on either side of the line here. I mean, Donald Trump obviously has a massive following and stuff like that, but so does Elon Musk, and it's going to be interesting to see who wants to side with who. Elon Musk has publicly said that Donald Trump should be impeached, and JD Vance should be the president of the United States. And JD Vance hasn't said shit about this. He hasn't said, be quiet, Elon Musk. You have no idea what you're saying. Donald Trump's doing a good job. No, he's just keeping his mouth shut. And so people are assuming that secretly JD Vance wants Donald Trump to be impeached, because then JD Vance will end up being the most powerful man in the world, and he possibly could get free terms because he'll be injected as the president of the United States in a period of time where he wasn't running for president,
Yeah,
and so that means he can run twice more after that, and it's just the beginning of the presidency as well for Donald Trump. And then there's people like Mike Johnson, who I don't know what side of the political spectrum he is, but then there's Steve Bannon, who's always spoken badly about Elon Musk, and now with what after what's happened, he is truly going after him, not ignoring the fact that Donald Trump has done a lot of the shitty things that Elon Musk wanted to, that Steve Bannon was complaining about. But now, because he hates Elon Musk so much, now he can truly go after him, all guns blazing. I'm very much looking. It feels like Injustice, the video game Injustice. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? With Batman versus Superman. You know what I mean? But you got Fat Man versus Stupid Man. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it feels like that, and it'll be interesting to see who's gonna be on each other's side. I do think Elon Musk is gonna possibly lose this to a degree, because in the day, Elon Musk needs America and Trump is America. Elon Musk is an immigrant. He's not an American citizen. And as you said, so many of his properties and his businesses rely on,
They all rely
on
on government handouts. They don't
yeah,
function on
yeah.
profit. Tesla Tesla made most of its like Tesla. By the way, for people that need to know this, it was only in the last like 4 or 5 years that Tesla turned a profit, and most of its profit came from selling its carbon offsetting certificates to other companies so that they can meet their pollution targets or something to that effect. And that's how they made an insane amount of money out of that, because for other companies it meant avoiding fines and getting other tax breaks and other stuff like this. That's how they made their money. It was only recently that it's just the car sales that started making some money for Tesla. But now that nobody's buying a Tesla anymore, it's literally just a matter of when, not if, for Tesla. Tesla's done. It's over.
What
It's
about the
over.
BYD? Have you
Huh?
seen those BYDs? Have you seen them?
The Chinese vehicles.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're amazing.
they're amazing, and people have realized now that there's more to electric cars than just Teslas. I drive an electric car. I drive a Volkswagen ID4. Ginger's sat inside it. He's seen it, and
I masturbated
yeah,
in it. It was great.
yeah. It's a great car, and you don't, if you want to go electric, if you want to control your carbon footprint, you don't need a Tesla to do it. So and
No,
they're
they're
very
away.
expensive cars.
Teslas, they're not good cars. They have the highest recall rate of any car, not just electric vehicles, of any car. They're badly made. They're badly again. It's like an Apple product. Not comparison, because Apple is good, but what I mean is it's with American stuff. It's all about marketing. Americans, nobody in the world is better at marketing than the Americans. I'll give them that. They are the fucking best. They would literally could sell ice to an Eskimo and charge them through the nose, and they'd buy it. That's how good Americans are. And people bought into the whole Tesla thing, like it's some kind of amazing thing. But then I remember James, what's his name, the guy from Top Gear, uh,
James May.
James May from Top Gear, when he bought a Tesla because he loved the Tesla, and he was like showing a few issues that he had with just like trying to fix a certain thing that was wrong with it, and how he had to take the whole car apart to do it, and all this kind. And the more he showed it, he was being a bit of a cuck. He was being too nice, and all that. But I'm like, who the fuck designs a car like this? It's like my Honda, where I had to take off the whole bumper and get under the car to change the fucking light bulb for the front lights. It's like that kind of stupid design, and they keep breaking. They're constantly being recalled. You've seen them explode. You've seen them self-drive into accidents and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, they're among the worst for EVs. Like, I think it was, who were the best ones? Was it Toyota and Volkswagen? I think were the
I'm sure
like the,
Skoda could have been in there as well. I mean, it's amazing how Skoda have changed their reputation from being a shit car. Yeah, and the Cybertruck was really bad as well. Let's just quickly get to some few comments. I don't want people thinking we're ignoring them.
yeah, no, don't
Um,
worry. I've got the
Daniel Vance
comments here.
says the Trump Musk feud feels like something right out of professional wrestling to eat up other news cycles. Yeah, I mean, they want to a degree. The genocide happening in Gaza right now, I mean, it's always getting worse. And Trump obviously likes to be in the news regardless. I mean, he had the fucking German chancellor at the White House the other day, and he couldn't help himself but by making World War One and World War Two comments, with the word German Chancellor
Of
there as well.
course.
Jesus, yeah. Uh, and by the way, at least the Germans have kind of, to a degree, learned about the shitty things that they did during the Second World War. There's still fucking dickheads in America who's still proud of the Confederacy. D. Jose, hell, fuck Mike Tyson versus I think he means versus Jake Paul. Let get Donald Trump versus Elon in a boxing match.
I
Yeah,
think Trump will have a heart attack just walking to the ring, mate.
yeah, exactly. D. Jose 101. We had such a laugh at that. Yeah, yeah. Tesla are terrible and their batteries explode. Yeah, their cars have known to catch fire and stuff. Um, we can sell you. We can sell you on why coffee is good for you, and you get hooked on Starbucks. I'm a Cafe Nero man personally, but yeah, I know what you mean. And Cybertruck, yeah, Cybertruck is also another joke as well. I mean, that car is literally stuck together by glue. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Glue, which
awful.
is
Like it's such a badly designed car that it's not allowed on the roads in Europe. Like it breaks every regulation that's in place in this continent. That's why it's not. Some guy imported one in from America into the UK, and within an hour, it got seized by authorities. They posted a picture, posted on social media, and within an hour of that picture, it got seized by authorities and confiscated. He can't have it. No, that's a lie. I'm lying. I apologize. He can have it back, but he has to make changes to fit the regulations of the British thing. That's just going to cost too much fucking money. Like you can own one, but you can't drive it on the road. Uh, so yeah, I
and by
mean,
the way, once again, China are actually doing their own version of the Cybertruck because they've already, to a degree, Musk's Cybertruck is a blueprint for how to do it. And obviously, once they got that idea, okay, fine, this is what Musk has done. Now let's do it right. You know, and I've seen it. If you go on YouTube, I think if you just type in Chinese Cybertruck, you can see it, and it just looks more. It looks a little bit bog standard. It's like a hybrid of a regular pickup truck with the Cybertruck, but still, it's more roadworthy than what the fucking Cybertruck is. The
yeah,
Cybertruck, that car breaks down in car washes. There's a car wash mode you have to press. If you don't press that button, the car breaks down because it's getting a
yeah,
car wash.
yeah, because the
Oh,
battery gets wet.
oh my god! And there's a problem with the pedals at times. They can get stuck. Like the accelerator can get stuck
Yep,
because I think a bit of it kind of a bit of the
slides down,
material
gets
slips.
loose, it gets
Yeah, it
caught
gets
under
caught.
the mat.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
all of this, and
I ain't
oh,
shaving, Jose. I'll shave my head tomorrow, but my beard's staying long for a bit.
and
Just
so yeah, like this guy, and like, and let's just talk about his, as we go on about Elon Musk. Let's talk about his space projects now. I got a family member who didn't like Elon Musk when Trump didn't like Elon Musk, but then started loving Elon Musk when Trump did like Elon Musk, and probably doesn't like Elon Musk again now because Trump doesn't like Elon Musk.
Jesus
But
Christ, your cousin's a fucking flake.
yeah, I know, he's
He's an
deluded as
absolute
fuck. He,
flake.
he actually thinks that Trump is playing 4D chess right now. I mean, it's like, please, Trump doesn't even have to fucking play checkers, let alone 4 fucking D chess. But I mean, look, I mean, the guy's got so many. I'm going on a tangent here. He's got TV personalities in his cabinet who are really fucking stupid. Linda McMahon, what is she doing as the fucking education secretary? Why is Pete Hegseth, this known, renowned alcoholic, the defense
Alcoholic
secretary?
Nazi.
Yeah, and anyway, but regarding Elon Musk and his spaceships, they're blowing up. What I mean? They're fucking blowing up in the sky, and he's coming up with fancy terms for their destruction because he doesn't want to come across as a fucking loser. And allegedly, we're supposed to be going to Mars in a few years. Look, I guarantee it, fellas. We're not going to Mars in our fucking lifetime.
No way.
Because like when you send a rocket ship up into space and then it comes back down and lands back into the port, that's a really cool thing. I'll give credit for that. But you got to do that hundreds of times. You got to make sure that this is working perfectly. It takes, that particular process takes so many times, and then there's a next process of going into space and surviving in space and then landing on Mars and all of that shit. And why the fuck do you want to? Why the fuck do you want to colonize Mars and live on Mars? For fuck's sake, it'll be like a glorified prison. Fix Earth, fix the country we're in right now.
Sam,
This is
fix
way
your
more.
camera, man. That zoom is doing my fucking
I
head
can't.
in.
I can't help it. I'm sorry. I've tried to.
God damn.
Okay.
God damn. It's
Yeah.
giving me a headache. But yeah, no, I 100% agree with you here. But this, I just go to this comment there. How fucking dare you, phony Beatlemaniac? How dare
Come
the
on, boss.
Sinclair E4 was a great bit of kit. It's still a beloved bit of classic history that just didn't sell well. That was its only issue. It was way ahead of its time. You goddamn anti-Sinclairian. I will not have people crap on Sinclair. The poor bastard that gave us the microcomputers and then people turned it into a games console. And it's just like, that's not what I designed it for. It's like, well, that's why it's selling. Anyway,
Yeah, the touchscreen in my car is amazing, boss man. I feel like James Bond.
that's right. The only person Trump has ever hired that was qualified to do the job was Stormy Daniels. I mean, that is just...
Yeah, and what a job did she fucking do?
Yeah. The roommate has a Tesla when they first came out. As someone who doesn't drive and rides shotgun, I find them neither comfortable nor is it user friendly. Horrible touchscreen, horrible UI. Yep. Guten Abend, Gustav. What is this? This is a stream, obviously. This is two old farts talking politics. And later on, gaming and wrestling and everything in between.
My name's not.
We are currently talking Musk versus Trump. What are your thoughts, Gustav? Yeah. Either way, whichever side of the political spectrum you're on, just give it your thoughts.
I just found out from a source that Fox News is not talking about this. They refuse to talk about it. Like, there's so many things they don't want to talk about the fact that Elon Musk has brought up the Epstein files, the fact that maybe Donald Trump will stop subsidizing Elon Musk's projects and stuff like that. The fact that someone like Steve Bannon is going after Elon Musk. They refuse to bring this up in their programming. They don't want to bring up all this so-called negativity. It's not negativity; it's fucking news. You know what I mean? But they don't want to bring it up.
And because they don't want to portray their side as
incompetent,
weak and incompetent and fighting and all this kind of stuff. They're keeping it stumm as much as they can. They don't want to ruffle either feather. But I'm just like, look. Go for the jugular. Get Trump. I mean, get Musk. Just get him. This is your best chance to just take him out. Do
you think if one of these two had to be taken down, who would you prefer?
Musk.
Yeah?
Musk. Yeah, I mean, Trump is got a couple of years left. And, hello, the block. Oh, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'd rather Trump because his money is just fucking, he deserves it. He deserves to go down. Yo.
Hello. Yo. It's Max Headroom in the house.
Yes.
Okay. Where's your MAGA hat, Block?
I got this shirt on. Isn't that enough? Land of the free and all that.
Fair enough. Land of the
Land of the free.
Land of the free. That's the most funniest phrase I've ever heard. They say they want to ban porn. In America right now with the Project 2025 thing. Imagine that. Thou shalt not jerk off. Part of the 10 Commandments or the 11th commandment. So yeah.
Speaking if I had to choose between who to off, it will be anyone running Project 2025 because that's the real big threat there. But Musk to go with them, preferably in one of his rockets, in an ironic twist of fate.
Yeah.
Rob, your thoughts on your two lovers squabbling?
I mean, it's a little sad because they had that bromance going, and now it's probably over. But I'm sure, in time, Trump will find a new lover, so it'll be all right.
Oh, I mean, Putin is always his ride or die. Them two will be lovers to the end. Nothing's going to change that.
If he breaks up with Putin, if he treats Putin the way he's treated everybody else, then I'll be amazed. Because, like I said, Putin for me was the benchmark of where, regardless of whatever Trump says, whatever Trump does, or whatever Putin does, pretty much, Trump will we be beholden to him. And so that's why I thought the same was with Elon Musk. It doesn't matter what Elon Musk does. He could fire everybody, destroy the American government. Make sure all the tax money goes to him, and Donald Trump will be beholden to him. But no, not now.
No, I
So
mean, Putin is the main reason Trump got elected in the first place. Like the massive troll farms of disinformation that flooded social media, allowing Trump to get in there, and Putin's also been the one reason that Trump never went completely broke.
another thing as well. Sorry to interrupt you, Ginger. I want to say this before I forget this, is that Putin is the global powerhouse of Russia as well. Like Musk is still reliant on Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is the sort of person that will take your money and tell you to fuck off, which he's done with Elon Musk. If Elon Musk helped him get the presidency, fine, thank you, Elon. I don't need you anymore. But as long as President Putin is still a powerhouse in his own right, and obviously he has nukes and all that other shit, which I don't think obviously he's going to use. You've got to be crazy to fucking nuke anyone in today's world.
Yeah,
But regardless of that, I do think he might have something on Donald Trump for a start, but he still has a massive influence. He is somebody that Donald Trump inspires to be, what I mean, as well. And so I think Donald Trump is very much in awe of people who are powerhouses in that particular aspect, authoritarians. He admires them. He's a fanboy of them. So that's why I still think he's beholden to Putin, whilst Elon Musk was just somebody, a tool that he used.
yeah. I mean, Elon Musk didn't save Trump from anything; it just helped him get elected. They literally dropped hints about. I guarantee Musk will. If Musk does end up going down, and he's gonna take him with him, it will be to with more shit like, I literally hacked the systems to steal the election for you. That's what I'm waiting for that to happen, because I know that they fucking stole this election for sure. I know it sounds conspiratorial, but Trump fucking kept dropping hints about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, Trump did.
Yeah, he's kept dropping hints.
And
He
then
kept dropping hints about it. Block.
and then I was gonna be like, even then, like even if Trump admitted, yeah, I stole it, half his MAGA people would be like, well, that's okay because at least then we kept Biden out of office. Like they'll
Exactly.
cover it up or excuse it. Anyone else?
And the
they
Democrats,
would
the
do it.
Democrats won't challenge it because they're completely right now. They're just useless, because the reason they're useless is because the billionaires have got what they wanted. So they're telling the Democrats, just be as ineffective and useless, just be a bunch of psyop, useless tools to give no hope to anyone, so that we can keep getting our tax breaks and all the fucking money in the world, and further crush what's left. Well, there is no democracy. Is a farce all over it doesn't exist anywhere in the world. It's bullshit. Even when you talk, the Scandinavian countries, all that. If no country follows a neoliberal model, then they're not gonna be able to have a functioning government unless they follow the fucking rules. So democracy just doesn't exist. What you get with is like kabuki theater and all this kind of bullshit. So
I mean,
yeah,
I agree. Like right now, I mean, just in a different direction here. Like there's innocent Americans, being swept up by ICE agents who are allegedly, some of them are like white supremacists and stuff like that, which is one of the reasons why they cover their faces and their arms and stuff like that, because they're covered in SWAT stickers and God knows what. And these are the people Donald Trump has hired, to be ICE agents. And there's people who are losing their lives, their livelihoods, their families are being broken up over nothing because of a mum and dad tattoo or whatever.
yep,
And they have to meet quotas. And let's not forget one of the real villains behind all of this, because I do feel that Trump is a puppet, and there are people telling him what to do, but he hasn't got the mindset for it, all of these terrible things. Stephen Miller is is a massive issue here. He's a fucking hardcore white supremacist, and he despises people of different ethnicities, and that's one of the reasons why he's doing what he's doing. He's got quotas. I mean, I initially did catch a lot of the criminals, but now they're going after anybody and everybody with a different melanin count, and the Democrats are not doing anything about this. You know,
Nothing.
like
And there's not
yeah,
going to be any repercussions. Even when the Democrats go back into power, there's not going to be any repercussions. ICE will still exist because the Democrats still going to keep trying to fight for the rights and appease the right wingers on the immigration stuff. So there'll be no repercussions. There'll be nobody held accountable. Those prisoners won't be fucking released either. So they're going to be left in there to rot. And it's just, the world's gone to shit basically. And I've said it before and I've said it again. Um, you know, unless you organize locally and harass the shit out of representatives causing all this shit and make their lives a misery, this is just going to keep fucking happening, and it's just not going to end. I mean, we've seen the
yeah.
tide the tide slowly turning on Israel now, where some journalists are having a modicum of courage now to start pushing back against representatives and calling them out for their bullshit, but it's too little too late. I said it from the start, since the attack happened, that we are witnessing the end of the Palestinian people. That's not going to change because no government is going to form an army to go into Israel like they did against the Serbs in the Yugoslavian, that war there, the Bosnian Serbian conflict. They're not going to do that. And so there's literally nothing stopping Israel. And to our shame, Greece, which historically has always stood by the Palestinian struggle and always stood by the Muslim struggle because of Western imperialism, has completely sold out. Mitsotakis is completely sold out. He's helping Israel with spy drones, with flights to Gaza and all this kind of stuff. And so nobody's coming together to form what is called a coalition of the willing to stop Israel. And so it doesn't matter if the tide is turning in terms of pressure and finances and all of that. We're talking about human lives here, not scoring little brownie points. So, yeah,
And
despite if you hear like the good news and all of this kind of stuff, it's just like it's too little, too late.
there is rumor, by the way, and I'm not sure how legit it is that the FIFA are looking to take America out of the World Cup simply
Nah,
because there are a lot of people don't who are players, let alone fans, who don't want to go to America. They're worried about their well-being. We're talking players, we're talking staff members, and stuff like that. They are so scared, and obviously then you throw in the fans as well. And at the same time, there are countries that are on the ban list regarding America, and one of them happens to have qualified for the World Cup, and that's Iran.
yeah,
So if Iranian fans want to come to America, they can't. But yeah, can their players can? I mean, how's that gonna to pan out?
it's look. Under no circumstances can I ever see. If it does, fantastic. But under no circumstances can I see the World Cup being pulled out from America. Fantino or whatever his fucking Infantino or whatever his name is the most corrupt piece of shit. He's worse than Sepp Blatter. After all
Sepp
the
Blatter was
hubbub,
bad, man. Yeah,
Sepp Blatter was bad, and so was Michel Platini. And this guy comes in, and he's even worse. Even worse, allowing countries to whitewash their reputation, allowing Israel to still participate, all right, while kicking out Russia,
Saudi
and,
Arabia is hosting it.
and Saudi Arabia getting the World Cup, and all these countries that are, the where was it last? The UAE, was it the
It was in
Arab Emirates?
Qatar.
Qatar, sorry, in Qatar, which literally has fucking economic slaves and violates every human right under the sun, was allowed to host a World Cup. There is no way in this world they're gonna pull out of America. The Americans will probably strike a deal because money's money. So they'll probably strike a deal for the World Cup to allow people to come in and all this kind of shit. But they'll be heavily monitored to make sure they go back. That's the best case scenario. It will
I'm
take a
so worried.
miracle for them. But people should boycott the World Cup. They
No, but
should.
look, America, like, is a country which has mass shootings on a regular basis. Yeah, I mean, there's not a fucking day that goes by that nobody's getting shot to shit. Can you imagine a fan park? I don't think people are going to stadiums with guns, but the fan parks outside the stadium. Let's say Mexico's playing. No, let's say Venezuela's playing Nigeria. Yeah, and there's Venezuelan and Nigerian fans are all mingling in the fan park, having beer and shit like that. And then there's fucking Cletus and Earl, driving in their fucking pickup truck, seeing, all these black people and all these Latin American people fucking chilling, thinking that they're being invaded and shit like that. And they pull out their Confederate flag and their AR-15s and start fucking gunning all these motherfuckers down. I can, I wouldn't be surprised if some shit like that fucking happens.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think you worry about that one too much more compared to other people. But I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen. But
Because it happened, dude. Like,
I know it's happened. But
there was that white dude. There was
There'd
that
be a lot
white
more
dude who
heightened
went.
security for the World Cup.
There was that white dude who went into a supermarket and started killing all the black people in the supermarket. And there was one white guy who was hiding underneath the counter, and he thought he was going to die because the fucking shooter saw him. And he went, sorry, and then walked past him. Yeah, but he left him alone because the guy was white. The guy hiding under the counter had no idea that that the shooter was only targeting black people.
Yeah,
But there are people like that in the States, and they've got fucking guns because everyone's fucking allowed to have one.
Yeah.
And
We haven't had many mass shootings though since Trump's been president. Have you noticed? It's all gone quiet.
well, they've won, haven't they?
Happening.
So now that.
Because they still happen. They're just not being reported now. Everyone's gone quiet on it.
No, there've been a few in schools, but what it is, Ginger, it's normal. It's normalized. It's normalized.
Yeah, it's normalized.
Like a kid being shot in school. Oh, it's only Thursday.
Yeah,
I mean,
Trump wouldn't want that kind of negative news kind of leaking out anymore. So yeah,
Trump is the news, man. Kids getting shot
Trump
in
is
school.
the news, literally.
I mean, nothing's ever going to get done about it in this. Let's be honest. Like, they're not going to take the drastic measures Australia did. And people are telling me, look, if they want to get a gun, they'll get a gun. But I'm thinking to myself, a lot of the times these are not career criminals who are shooting up schools. These are disgruntled fucking dickheads who got guns legally. They're not going into the fucking black market to get one. You know what I mean?
I could very easily get a gun if I wanted one as well. But my intention with the gun would be what every person that has a gun in this country tends to be related to gangs. Okay? But I can easily go, there is a place I know that's very dodgy, and I'm sure if I ask them there, they don't have guns there. I'm just saying, in case authorities come, I'm sure if I ask somebody, they will be able to get one. So there's always a place where you can get it. The point is, I can't just walk into a shop and get one and then just go on a spree. And so if you're going to have one in this country, most of the people that have guns in this country are just gangsters. Okay? We know this for a fact. Like, being of that community, not me personally, but Greeks, Albanians and Turks, and certain parts of Romanian gangs and Bulgarian gangs, they're all armed to the fucking teeth, even in this bloody country. But for regular people, it's like Sam says, you can't just go and get a bloody gun from somewhere and start doing a mass shooting. That's why we don't have mass shootings. We had one mass shooting in this country and we acted on it. We banned handguns straight away. Like, there was no afterthought. We upped security in schools as well. And same with Australia. But in America, it's just like, whoa, that's going to affect profits. We can't have that. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, they make it so okay. They hide, they lock up soap and medicine and birth control you can't get easily, but a gun you could just go anywhere and pretty much no background check. And I mean, some places have them, but sometimes you could get it within the day or something. So
Yeah, exactly. That's just
I've debated many American who likes to make fun of me, saying, "You don't have freedom, you can't get guns." And I tell them, we can get guns in this country. We can get shotguns, we can get rifles in the UK, but it's not easy. Like, there's a lot of shit you have to go through to get a gun in this country, like it
oh yeah.
should be, because we're talking about a weapon that fucking kills people. So you have to jump through a lot of hoops. You got to do lots of tests, various types. Some of them are a test on who you are as a person. It doesn't matter how much you fucking pass regarding ticking boxes and answering questions. If you're judged not to be the right sort of demeanor and person to have a gun, you won't fucking get one. Because and that's how it should be. But yeah, I think the Second Amendment thing, by the way, is very much bastardized and prostituted by American governments and the American people and your so-called constitutional scholars in order for people to fucking get guns in the States, because a well-armed militia and all of that sort of shit, that's also in your Second Amendment. And who you going up against? If you try to go up against the government, you'll fucking get
yeah,
shot, killed, or
I
thrown
mean,
in
you have a
jail. So
tyrannical government in place right now, and nobody's arming up.
yeah,
But then when it,
I mean, they act like
yeah,
because
go on.
some people, 250 years ago wrote something on a paper. Oh, we can't. Like that's out of scope. Like we can't do anything about that. They wrote it down. So what do we? Our hands are
Yeah,
tied.
but everything
Basically,
else
they
they
act
can
like
ignore,
you can't alter the
like the
Second
First
Amendment.
Amendment. Where I grew up, owning guns almost a rite of passage. We'd sit out just practicing on weekends in groups, cooking and whatnot. I mean, look, again, there's nothing wrong with owning a gun, but when you're an irresponsible country that just murders children, it just needs to be more difficult for the people to get a gun. That's all. Like in Greece, if I lived in Greece, I'd definitely have a gun license. There's no question about it. I wouldn't give it an afterthought. If guns were legal in this country, I'd definitely own a gun. But you just it's too easy for nutcases to get a gun. That's the
and
main
we
thing.
every country, including ours, we have loads of people with mental health problems. And it's so good that we don't have guns in this country, because our stabbing, things like knives are legal, and our stabbings, we do have a stabbing issue in this country. It's still, by the way, it's not as bad as America, and that's per capita as well, by the way. Regardless, it's still bad in this country, and it's so good that they don't have the opportunity to get guns, because then things will be far worse.
Oh my god! If we had the same kind of gun laws as America does in this country, it
It'll
would
be the
be
Wild
fucked.
West.
It would be the Wild West. It would be the wild, yeah, literally be the Wild West. You'd just be walking along, bang, someone would just shoot you, just to take your phone, just to take your phone. They just shoot you, you know. So crazy, crazy, crazy. But yes, that is the wonderful fight between Musk and Trump. We can move on now because we've been on this subject for a while. Jose, if you're still watching and want to join us, we can talk gaming and wrestling. But block while I have you here as a wrestling fan. I've got issues with the WWE. Big fucking issues with the WWE. In some manner, they've managed to make it worse since TKO have bought it than when Vince was in charge, and Vince was already making the product really fucking bad. It was already bad under him, and somehow TKO have made it worse. Some of the decisions they've made, all these, like, I'm not talking about the releases. Releases happen. You want to fucking take out R-Truth because he's on 500,000 a year or whatever he's on, and you want to cut costs in that way because they're even looking to cut back on Roman Reigns' contract and all this kind of stuff. If you want to do that kind of shit, you want a penny pinch in that way, that's fine. But the booking decisions, the weird sponsorships, Like you're gonna have tables with
NASCAR.
sponsorships on them. You know,
NASCAR.
yeah, it's like NASCAR. I guarantee you, by next year, every single fucking T-shirt that the wrestler wears to sell will have a sponsor on it as well. Everything will be, every part of it will be sponsored. The floor they walk on will have a sponsor. The shoes that they wear will have sponsors on it. They would have to get like a CM Punk Pepsi tattoo, like sponsor. I wouldn't go that far, but
Dude,
you know,
they had matches like they'll have the Slim Jim match. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like you know, like this is the match because they've been like this is the match sponsored by Slim Jim. And so like the fucking ring posts now, which have got LEDs on it and shit, have all fucking Slim Jim. The barriers have all turned into fucking Slim Jim and shit. Like it's fucking ridiculous.
it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. There's always the prime bottles in the corner, which nobody's fucking drinking anyway.
Oh god, yeah.
No one's drinking those bloody prime. But that
But
aside, like not only is it just corporate, very corporate. It's just so soulless. It just feels so soulless, and the booking is fucking atrocious. Like, firstly, I want to start with Mariah May. Mariah May and Tony Storm were the best thing going in wrestling. Period. Not men's, not women's, in wrestling. Their feud was incredible. The minute Mariah May stepped on into that fucking scene with Tony Storm, they lit the bloody world on fire. And her contract came to an end at AEW. She had dreams and desires to go to WWE. I get that. Absolutely fine. If that's what you want to do. Personally, I wouldn't have done it because she was better off in AEW. She goes to WWE. Where do they stick her? NXT. You've just lit the women's world of wrestling on fire for the whole fucking year and a half. And they stick you in NXT. Like, what the fuck is that about? She doesn't need refining. Her wrestling is really, really bloody good. Especially when you compare to half the main roster in WWE. And, like, it's stupid things like that that annoy me. WrestleMania, what a fucking disaster. Pulling out of New Orleans. Like, that kind of senseless action.
I never heard of that, man. That's just like a new one.
So the WrestleMania is not happening in New Orleans. They've cancelled that. They want to do it in Vegas again, although it's not officially announced because they're probably still trying to book different places. But they want to do Vegas because they made a shitload of money in Vegas, not just through WrestleMania, but through all other events and all of that. So they pulled out of New Orleans. People had already booked hotels, already booked plane tickets, already bought their bloody tickets.
I got him.
You got him, yeah? Okay, they've already booked their tickets. And now they have to frantically go around to get their money back from that. So it's this kind of like not giving a fuck about the audience. Toning down the swearing. Toning down. When we said, oh, well, with TKO taking part, Triple H come out and say, oh, we're going on Netflix, we're going to swear. And then that was shot down. Now they're asking the audience not to swear. It's losing its soul. It is becoming as bland as basically our own football has become, where you can't have a personality.
Vince is back in charge.
But worse.
It's
But worse.
homogenized.
It's much worse.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you know, your guys' thoughts. Who wants to take this? Sam, I'll go to you.
Okay. When Cody Rhodes told Rock to go fuck himself, I thought, oh, hell yeah, baby. You know what I mean? This is it. Like, you know, this is like, there for me was like a moment by telling the audience the shackles are off. You know, it's truly like this PG era is done.
It's
you know
over.
I mean, it's 100% over when you did that, but it's resurrected again. Like the fact that they're muting crowd chants, and for a while they were getting it wrong. They were always muting the parts where they weren't swearing. You know, the parts where they were swearing never got muted. That was hilarious in its own right. But it's very insulting when they do shit like that. For fuck's sake, aren't you First Amendment right, motherfuckers, and all of that sort of stuff in your part of the world? Let them say what they want to say, and all of that. But yeah, regarding the booking and stuff like that, I do agree with you. It's it does leave you head scratching at times. I I do enjoy. I have to say, some of the matches have been enjoyable to watch, but I do feel that there is a sense of there's something in the air that just doesn't feel right, and I can't really put my finger on it.
It's 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 basically, it feels like they're going to work in a corporate office rather than indulging in wrestling. That's what it feels like. It feels like the soul's been
Yeah,
sucked out of it. They have to abide by certain things. There is no kind of, it doesn't feel free anymore. It feels very kind of curated, even worse now than when it did. I mean, all this stuff we're talking about now, we used to complain about Vince doing it, but they've made it even fucking worse now. It sickens me. Jose, your thoughts?
Is anyone really surprised that this was going to happen? I'm not,
No.
because of the fact that TKO, when they got in, I said, "Oh shit," because what's happening now is the old days mentality is over. The days of, if you're loyal to the company, you make them money, you make yourself money. You're only going to last so long in WWE. Like R-Truth lasted what, like 15, 16 years, and now he's out, and then they're talking about cutting Roman's contract. Roman's been basically the guy that's been kind of saving your company, quote unquote. And now they're going to want to reduce him, and he's probably also on the verge of retiring anyway. So, yeah, even the legends aren't safe. Like, if you think Hogan, Austin, Rock, Shawn, Taker are set for life, yeah, they might be set for life now, but as far as being lifers in WWE, I don't see it. I think it's just
Yeah.
going to get worse and worse. And, they're pricing themselves out of the market. It's going to be 15 grand just to get to WrestleMania, depending on where you're going to be sitting. Nosebleeds are going to be at least $1,000. So, yeah, no, they've officially lost me. I'm never going to go to WrestleMania now. I don't give a shit that they're going back to Vegas next year. I honestly think I'm just like done with wrestling, or done with WWE, so to speak.
okay, before you, I pass it on to you. What I've heard is that they want to get rid of like these top tier guys who earn a lot of money and just create new stars straight off the bat and not have to pay them as much, pay them half, pay them a lot less. So long as they'll be just they should be happy that they're main eventers, and then pay them what, a couple of hundred fucking grand a year.
Yeah.
At best, that's kind of the direction they want to go in the future.
And not to mention too, before you go, Ginger, sorry, you
right.
still don't get health insurance, you still don't get benefits, you still don't get Social Security. You're an independent contractor, quote unquote. Yet they tell you when you can and cannot work, and they tell you where you can and cannot work.
It's so capitalism, man.
Yep.
It's capitalism in a nutshell.
Yeah, absolutely. Block, I'll go to you, then I'll talk.
So yeah, it's very homogenized now. I remember the low point prior to like the pandemic, when you had like, what was like Roman Reigns in a dog food match or something stupid. And
Yep.
I stopped watching it for a while. There's other stuff. There was other stuff going on, but that was like the ultimate. He's eating dog food or something's going on. And then when I heard like they're getting bought out, I was like, well, Vince is a scumbag. It can't get any worse. And I'm like, maybe it'll be better because Triple H is involved, maybe. And like when they were doing some of the build up with like Rock, Cody, for not this year, but like the previous year, it was kind of edgy. You had Punk coming back. So there was like some promise. Maybe they would start building on that, build new stars, all that. But this last year, it's just been super homogenized, drop storylines, sometimes for legit reasons because someone would get hurt. Sometimes it seemed like they're just chasing like not only money, but like hashtags. Like they don't want to follow through on anything if some fans aren't, going yeet, or like it's too much. They let the internet fans take over too much.
I agree.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, they've become even more obsessed with shoehorning celebrities in now. They're fucking celebrity obsessed.
They don't
They
want to get
want
paid.
celebrity matches all the time. They keep cutting to the camera to celebrities that are in the fucking ring and all this kind of shit. And yeah, the more corporate sponsors you take on, Vince always said it. He always said, sponsors are a big pain in my ass. And he goes, the only people that have never given a shit about what we do are Slim Jim. Slim Jim were like, we don't care.
Yep.
People are going to buy our product no matter what. And that's why they're still around. They're the longest sponsor that WWE have ever had. But Vince was like, nobody wants to sponsor us because of what we are, what we do. And so the more sponsors you have on your product and on your mats and everywhere, the more you have to behave. And that's why they it's all becoming so sanitized and homogenized. Block, that was the word I was looking for earlier. It's because they get more and more sponsors, and be prepared for a lot of WrestleManias to take place in like fucking Vegas and Saudi Arabia and all this kind of crap because they're chasing the dollar. They don't have a heart for the business. They don't give a shit about it. And Triple H, I guarantee you, Triple H is making no decisions behind closed doors because
No.
what's going on now
Yeah, these are
is
business decisions.
eh?
These are
It's
business
business
decisions.
decisions.
They're not like how to wrestle in the ring and all of that sort of shit. These are 100% business decisions.
Yeah.
This
You
is above Triple H.
You compare what Triple H was doing in NXT compared to now, it's night and day. It's
Yeah.
completely different. And if you look at NXT, to NXT's credit, NXT is good. NXT it seems to still be able to escape whatever bullshit. It's still not as good as the black and gold era. Okay, let's be perfectly honest. And I think that the quality of wrestling has actually dipped tremendously, especially in the women's division. Like it's gotten so fucking bad. Watch that, and I watch like TNA, and I'm like, fucking hell, TNA. It's always been amazing with its women's division. It's like the only time it dipped was when Vince Russo and Bischoff and all of them like had a hissy fit because the division was more popular than the men's, and so they destroyed it. But other than that, it's been solid. Whereas the WWE women's, like we went from 4 horsewomen to 4 fucking donkeys that can't even put a dropkick together. You know what I mean? So yeah, and AEW just had an amazing pay per view. I don't know if anyone watched All Out, but that was bloody fantastic. TNA they got a pay per view tomorrow. Actually, I think it's Money in the Skank tomorrow, which I don't really care about. But TNA's like done amazing, except for the Trick Williams winning the bloody TNA title. That was a stupid decision.
Yep.
But there's other products that are better, and this is just going to help AEW in the long run, because if WWE prices themselves out of the market with AEW actually dropping their prices now, people are just going to be like, "Oh fuck it, then I'll just go and watch AEW." Bollocks to it. It might be shit, but I get to watch wrestling,
Yep.
and it's a lot cheaper. So
Yeah, they're relying on their name and their brand and all of that, and the fact that they're pretty much part of the furniture when it comes to wrestling. WWE, like they've established themselves for decades, and that's what they're relying upon more than anything.
yeah, and that reminds me, because when you said that, they've had to cancel one of they cancelled an event. I think it was an NXT event due to low ticket sales.
Yep.
And they've had to move venue due to low ticket sales. Well, of course, low ticket sales. That's what killed That's what killed AEW. It's not just 'cause the product was bad. It's the tickets were fucking expensive, like really expensive. Like the people were posting like, "Hey, just to do like a regular ass AEW show, it's like $500-$600 to go sit at the front to watch indie dog shit wrestling." And it's just like, no one's going to pay that. And so they quickly found that out. AEW quickly found that out.
In today's economy, fuck that. Yeah, $500-$600. It might not seem like a lot of money, but it is.
It's a lot of money.
Hell yeah! Even if you're not living paycheck to paycheck, it's still a lot of money. For a wrestling show, they are taking advantage of people's fandism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And love for the product, and skinning them alive. And they do that in all industries, in football and various other sports. They know people are fanatical about this shit, and they try to extract as much fucking money out of you as possible. And I refuse to let that happen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
I'm not going I'm like, I don't care if it's WWE or AEW. I'll watch it at home. I don't give a shit.
Best seat in the house.
Yep.
It's always the best seat in the house. Yeah.
I'm turning 37 in a couple days, and I'm like, bro, I'm like damn near 40 now, and I'm at that age where I'm like, why would I go to this shit? Like,
yeah, that's what happens, mate. You're
Why?
middle aged now. You get it.
Yeah.
You get
I'm
it. You're
like-
middle-aged now. You're officially middle-aged. One
I'm
of
like-
us. One of us.
I'm that guy now that takes naps. I'm like, I get
Yeah.
more excited to play video games than I do watching wrestling, which is actually kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like everything's got to the point now where, okay, look, at the end of the day, for me personally, I literally can't afford to do that anyway. But even if I had money, I still wouldn't do it. It's the principle as well. It's
Yeah.
not just about like having money. Like, you know, to my brother's credit, he's done very well for himself. He's well to do, and even he goes on the principle. It's just like, just because I can afford to say get a new car, I'm not going to do it on the principle that I'm not going to spunk away 40 grand on something that will get smashed into, stolen, and all this kind of crap. I could buy a car 7 or 8 years old and pay a third of the price,
Yeah.
and it will last me for however long I need it to last me. It's the principle. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And then you also just allow companies to rip you off and take the piss out of the consumer, which I'll get to you about that, Jose, later, because you know what you did. You know what you did.
I'm busy right now, motherfucker. Don't
You
distract
know
me.
what you did.
I'm
In fact,
busy
we
right
can
now, motherfucker.
transition
Don't-
into that.
I'm
And then
Oh,
we
did
can
he
go
get it?
back.
Look.
What
I'm
did
busy.
you
got it,
do?
didn't
I'm
he?
busy.
Oh,
I'm busy.
I knew it.
I'm busy.
I'm gonna wait
I'm
till
busy.
you.
I'm
I'm gonna
busy.
wait till you.
Yep.
You
I'm busy.
couldn't
gonna
even
till
wait
We-
for the
we-
Mark II model. Well, I mean,
Yep.
I knew you wouldn't anyway.
We-
You
we
owe
were-
me $50.
Jose,
Yeah.
honestly, we said,
What?
you know, when you were not with us, we said amongst ourselves that you were gonna get it on fucking day one.
No, I said it to Jose.
Yeah.
I said it to
Ginger.
Jose.
Yeah.
I said
Ginger.
he's gonna get it day one. We was on. We have it on stream that you were gonna get it day
gonna
one.
get it
You
next year.
of
I'm
all
gonna
the
get it next
people.
year.
God bless you. I love you. And this is not.
Yep.
This is just
Yep.
minor fucking nothing. This is absolute nothing. So I'm
your
gonna rip
banter.
into you just for fun, all right?
Mhm.
But of all people, you're the one that says, "Don't buy this," and then you go and buy it.
Mudahar did
pre-order,
the same fucking
and then
thing.
you go pre-order.
Mudahar did the same fucking thing. I was watching his stream
You
like the other
sold
day.
out. You
Yeah.
sold out.
Hey, yeah,
Damn
but
right I sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn right I sold out.
But that being said, and you
Yep.
clearly got a copy that didn't get fucking staples through it. So
Yeah.
that's good
I
to
didn't
know.
go to GameStop. I didn't go to
You didn't go to
GameStop to get my
GameStop.
shit. Yep.
I mean, I don't know what's worse: them stapling the box that you might want in mint condition, or the fact that Nintendo packaged the Switch in that way where it could get fucking damaged that easy. Like, forget the
Jesus
staples.
Christ.
Forget the
I knew that.
staples. Did you not hear the story, Zam?
No,
Yeah.
no,
yeah.
no.
What happened?
All right,
what
so
happened is like,
hang
okay,
on, hang on.
go
Look,
ahead.
look.
Go ahead.
So this is the ignore this. Pretend this is a Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
Okay. This is the box. Just underneath this box
The very
is
top.
the
The very
console.
top of the box. Yeah.
The very top of the box with the screen facing up. That much thickness to the box, and they were stapling the receipt to the box, which punctured and broke the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't get one. Oh god.
Good going, GameStop. Yeah.
Yeah, good going, GameStop. But that being said, what are your thoughts on the Switch 2?
This is basically an updated version of the Switch 1, bigger screen, faster loading times. Mario Kart World right now is their first launch game. If you're a Mario Kart fan, you're obviously going to buy it. I'm really enjoying it. I already goldened most of the cups. I'm working my way to unlocking all the characters right now, and I'm having a great time with it. Altogether, I think I paid, if you take into account the Pro Controller and the SD card, I think I paid about $700 altogether for this. Yeah, it's a lot.
Good God, man! You
Yeah.
couldn't even wait for a goddamn.
It wasn't going to matter.
price drop.
No, it's Nintendo. Nintendo's not going to price drop shit. They never
the games
do.
they want, the consoles they will.
No. Consoles are still $300 for the Switch 1, man. Yeah.
Oh, really? God,
Yeah. So it wouldn't
they're
have-
like fucking £180 over here or something
Yeah.
cheap.
It wouldn't have mattered when I got this motherfucker anyway, but overall, I know when we get Winnie up here one of these days, I know she's going to be like, "Oh, it's the best console ever." And I'm like, all it really is just a slightly updated version of the Switch 1. And it's projected to sell at least 5 million units, I think, like within the next week or so.
Oh, for
But
sure.
What we'll be
There's
telling
no doubt about it.
what we'll be telling is the next 3 to 5 years. I mean, we got Donkey Kong. I know Ginger's looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. But it remains
I've
to be
never
seen.
played
Like,
it, but yeah.
it remains to be seen what they're going to do with like Zelda and Metroid and all that other shit. The next Mario Odyssey. overall, I think Nintendo's going to be, like you even said on stream, Ginger, the king of first party gaming.
Oh yeah, for sure. Listen, they have a loyal fan base
Yep.
that they could literally come around your house, punch your mother in the face, and kick your dog, and you'll still buy their products.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just surprised that
Nintendo.
because Nintendo are also known to be the innovators of gaming, but by making a Switch 2, they were just upgrading this time.
It's
So
pretty much
I want-
what it is.
So and obviously that gives them now a decade to play with until they come out with something else. And I don't want there to be a Switch 3. I want them to come up with something unique.
Yeah.
Triangle.
Within, well, I don't know what it is. Just
Rom-
a different take into gaming.
Circle,
Well, yeah.
cross. They become PlayStation.
No, but like the Nintendo Wii and the first Switch, they weren't necessarily things that appealed to me, but they did appeal to a lot of people, and I appreciate that. Elderly people were fucking playing Wii's and stuff like that because it doesn't require them to press button; it just requires them to move in a particular way.
Yeah.
So I like all of that, and I want them to remember that element of themselves. But they evolved, instead of just being another version of PlayStation and Microsoft. They evolved, and I want that evolution to continue.
And you'll get that with Nintendo, but I can't say the same for Microsoft and Sony. I don't see Microsoft and Sony.
No, I don't expect them to. No.
Yeah.
No. In terms of innovation, in that regard, no chance. Nintendo, yeah, they've always like kind of pushed the limit boundaries and reimagine things and all this kind of stuff. But right now they're in the comfort zone. They've got the best of everything. They've got the console. They've got these brilliant controllers that are extremely innovative.
Pro controller's nice.
Yeah, there's nothing more you can do in the sense that you've got the best of both worlds now. You've got the handheld
fan base,
which is a huge market now. The handheld market is huge right now. It's the biggest growing gaming market. Muppet. It's the biggest growing market.
Well, I don't know what a Muppet is, but I know I'm a Muppet.
I'm actually shocked. I'm actually shocked that handheld gaming, like consoles, that is, are in such demand because I thought people's phones would eliminate that.
Yeah, you would think. You would think, but no, that ain't it.
Because those phones, you know what? I don't fucking know why. I honestly, but hang on. Let's not mistake it. Mobile gaming is still bigger than mainstream gaming terms of sales. Hello, Quaz Snack. It's still like in terms of profits and all that, it trounces like console gaming, but in our market, it's still like handheld gaming, all of that. I reckon the only reason why it's so popular is because of emulation.
Yes,
because you can put all your retro games on there. Like I said, I mean, I have.
I'm fine, thank you, mate. How are you?
We good.
I think we should all stream
here as well, which is dusty.
I think we should all stream with the new Switch camera.
Fuck that! No, fuck that! No, no, hell no.
I like for instance, it's in my little bag downstairs, but I've got this little device that you can stick your phone in, and it's got handlebars and it's got buttons and a joystick, and it turns your phone into a gaming console. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mainly play WWE Superstars and WWE WrestleFest on it. I love playing that shit on it. It's awesome.
I will say too, though, for Switch 1 games, the load time is vastly fucking improved. That is the nice thing. Like now, there's other than like Pokemon Sword and Shield and maybe a couple other games, there's literally no reason to play the Switch 1 now. Once you get the Switch 2, it's going to be like, okay, there's no reason.
It's on the side.
Yeah, but he wants your Game Boy.
Yeah. I know. I can read I don't ignore the comments, Sam. I read the comments as they go. If something pops up that's relevant,
you can read.
Put it up there. Wow, I wish I can have one. I only read when this gets. Look, I could just about read. Yeah. Quays, I got this from Temu, like 20 quid now. That you can get them for like 20, 25 quid. They're knockoffs, but it doesn't matter. That's where I got it from, and it comes loaded with games. So just go to Temu or go to AliExpress, and you can get them there. You know,
I'll show.
screw
Let
it.
me let me show you what I'm getting from. Is it Temu or Timu?
Timu.
Temu. I don't know why I call it Temu. It's Temu.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you. No, you keep talking. I'll show you what I'm going to get. I can't
Sounds
wait
like
for
a
this.
Pokemon. Timu, I choose you.
Here,
Yeah.
Amy Temu comes out and just steals all your money and gives you a lot of cheap products.
But as far as PS6, and I'm going to stick to my word on this, I did the fucking midnight release for this. I will not, and I repeat for emphasis, will not be going through this process with PlayStation 6. It was a fucking nightmare, because let me tell you all the story. All right, so I go to Walmart, right? I got the fucking console, and then 5 days before launch, they fucking canceled my order, and I couldn't get it back. Yeah, I know. What kind of fuckery was that, right? Yeah.
That's
And they're going to be what?
That's because they had supply issues at the time, though.
Yep.
But those guys, I forgot that there was a terminology. There was a term for those guys who bought them in bulk.
Scalpers.
Yeah, a lot of
Scalpers.
fucking scalpers and bots tried to get this.
You're gonna have to deal with that shit again,
No,
unfortunately.
and I'm not going through it. I'm like, nah, I can wait 6 months because I know you guys.
I waited
like,
a fucking year.
Ah, you
Yeah.
fucking liar. You fucking liar. When the
Day
PlayStation
one.
6
I'm
comes
gonna
out
wait.
in 2 years' time,
I'm gonna wait.
you're going to be live streaming in a tent.
Because what are they gonna have? You know, it's like PlayStation probably will have maybe a Ratchet and Clank and maybe Spider-Man, if that, for their launch titles. Because I don't see them
know.
having.
It's going to be in 2 years' time. The PS6. It'll be
The
coming out in
only way I
2027.
could see all four of us getting one day one is if they said every fucking game is compatible. But I know that won't happen.
Listen,
no chance
I have
in hell
never
Sony
in my
doing that.
life done day one. Never.
Yeah. Never.
I never. The closest I've gotten to day one.
Yeah. Okay. Put that up in a poll. Okay. Vance came up with an idea. All right. What we're gonna do? We're gonna put up a poll, and then if I don't get one day one, you guys have to do something. And if
Zam,
I
are
do
you
get a
able
day
to do
one,
a poll?
I got to do something. Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's gonna be a couple.
You're asking a lot from me.
It's gonna be a couple
let
years
me-
before this poll goes up.
But yeah, like I said, the closest I've come to day one was
Hold
the
on.
PlayStation 1, which I bought 3 months after its launch.
I
Yeah.
can do a poll.
And that's because I had to work to get my birthday present as well. I had to save my own money to get my birthday present. My dad was like, I'm not fucking paying 300 quid. I'm not paying fucking 300 quid for a computer. Oh, you fucking mad? You can come and work with me and get your money and get it that way.
Luckily
That's
for
the
me,
closest.
luckily for
Everything
me,
else has been 18
Nah.
months to 2 years.
yeah, luckily for me, my mom and dad were huge gamers. Like my mom was like, you know, when you were a baby, I stayed up till like 3 a.m. playing Super Mario 3, and I'm like, yep, okay, that's where I got that from.
Oh, your parents were gamers. Nice.
Oh yeah,
The poll's up,
Yep.
by the way, fellas.
yeah. I can
Oh,
wait
yeah,
6 months. I can wait 6 months easy, no problem. I can wait
Sure, pal. Yeah.
because I know for
Okay.
a fact they won't. I know
6
for
days.
a fact they won't have shit. They
Yeah,
won't have
6
shit.
days. Just hook it to my veins.
And yeah,
It's gonna
even
be-
then it'll be the hardest 6 days of your life.
Yeah, I can wait. I can wait it out. I did it for PS3. I didn't get the PS3 for like a fucking year after it came out. I waited. I was like, fuck that. I'm not going to buy it.
Why did I get PS3 in the end?
It took Uncharted to come out, I think, for me to get it because Uncharted was fucking awesome.
That PS3 was one of the most bulkiest consoles of all time. By the way, this is what I'm getting. By the way, I'm into my gadgets, and
Yeah, you just showed like a watch.
Yeah, this is a watch with built-in headphones.
Nice.
You can flip the screen. It's a digital watch. Or it's only one of the, like a smartwatch, you know, and you can flip the screen, and it's got little headphones in there because I carry headphones with me everywhere, but it just bulks up my pocket now having headphones in my pocket and stuff like that. So this is what it looks like.
You've got to review it when you get it.
Yeah, so it looks pretty cool and all of that, and
Yeah, you'd be amazed some of the you can get cheap shit
Yeah.
gadgets, but I'll tell you what, some of these cheap shit gadgets are fucking decent. You know what I mean? Like the build quality might not be amazing, but they do the job.
Yeah. Like, okay, like I could see, like, because we've all got our vices where it's like everybody will get their shit like day one. Like I could see Zam being that way with his watches, where he's like, I gotta have this shit.
I mean, I've already
only-
got a smartwatch, but I
Sorry,
wanted
go on,
something. I've already got a smartwatch, as you can see, but this is like something that kills two birds with one stone. Have a smartwatch and have my headphones inside it. Now I don't have to fucking carry headphones with me in my pocket. It's in my fucking watch, and that is why I get it. You know,
Yeah.
for that reason alone.
I don't see why not. Seeing as you wear a watch already, I can 100% support that kind of consumer decision.
But I am.
Look at the price, 20 quid.
That's not
20
bad.
quid.
That's you, Jose.
I'll never tell you. I'll never
tell you. What's that controller over there? Oh, it's the Switch 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it modded. Yes.
Yeah, I got it modded.
Look that way. Yeah. Look over there.
But to my only vice, and it's only on. It depends on the figure. Is action figures. You know, like my. Well, you can see my. I'm gonna purposely show off my Jean Grey there with a Palestinian flag.
See, we've all got our vices. You with your action figures, yeah. Zam with watches, me with
My
with
watches
gaming.
are not a vice, dude. I just happened to buy a watch, you know. Just like I thought, but I'm not. I don't go around buying watches on a regular basis. You know.
No, hang on.
Oh no, I know his vice.
His
vice is FIFA.
Vice is
He'll buy
vices.
that bullshit every fucking year. He'll buy FIFA without hesitation
No.
every single year.
FIFA, I admit, but FIFA,
That's a good point.
Yeah. I'll buy FIFA every year. I don't know what my vice is. Maybe it's more to do with food and stuff like that. You know,
I would say your vices or ladies of the night. Vices.
Yeah.
Vices.
Lady boys of the night, to be more precise.
Or boys of the night. Whatever.
Lady boys of the night, you know. So
hey, listen, you gotta spend your money on something. At least it has a happy ending.
And but even then now I've had to cut down, man, because you can't be, you know, they ain't fucking cheap, you know. I mean, banging these whores, you know. So like, you know, even that has to got that, but look, I had major.
Cheeto, join us. We're just talking.
Yeah, get up here.
We're shooting the shit now for everything. And why you do that?
I figure if y'all got,
I'm just gonna open my window because I'm hot.
And I figure if y'all got any questions about the Switch 2, now would be the time to ask. For anybody out there curious.
Oh Jesus, my knees, everything.
There we go. Okay.
I'm gonna.
I know that pain.
Oh, I've had a really fucking long week. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about work. Fuck that. I need to escape work.
I have a smartwatch, but I'm looking at another smartwatch with headphones, but I'm not into watches, says the Mario. That's some Vince Russo shit right there.
Listen, mate, for 20 quid with headphones in it, I'd buy it. I'd never wear
watches. This is the first smartwatch I bought, and I bought this, you know, a couple of years ago. You know, and then I saw this came across my path, and I saw this, and I thought, yeah, I'll buy this. You know, this looks pretty cool.
But here's the crazy.
Too many fucking headphones.
Yeah, but here's the fucking crazy thing. Kind of now that we can talk about whatever. Going back to wrestling, I'm kind of curious to check out that AAA pay-per-view tomorrow, but I don't give a fuck about Money in the Bank. I'm like, I don't really.
Are you gonna watch it though, aren't you? You're gonna still watch it. Come on.
Not Money in the Bank.
Listen, I'll probably still. If I'm awake, I'll fucking watch it as well. And if we all do that, we just might as well just do a bloody live stream of it.
Yep. Del Rio, I don't think is going to be coming back to AAA because they're having their big fucking crossover pay-per-view tomorrow.
Yeah, the only thing Del Rio needs to do is have an episode of Dark Side of the fucking Ring. Yep. Me and Jose were talking about Dark Side of the Ring, and
we want that. That's like our most anticipated episode.
Yeah, Alberto Del Rio is the only person I can think of today, of today's wrestlers, who warrant, and maybe that guy from Big Cass and the other dude,
Enzo.
No, maybe Enzo.
No, they're all right. I mean,
the Big Cass is fine, but
Enzo would be a dark side of itself.
Yeah.
Not really. Enzo's been pretty open about his thing, and he was just a cocky prick. It's nothing really that crazy. The accusations were non-founded.
I would say.
What about Jim Cornette?
Cornette could be one, but Cornette would be his podcast alone would make a Dark Side of the Ring episode
I
entertaining.
love his podcast, man. He was
Yeah,
by the
it's
way,
brilliant.
by the way, he did you watch Saturday Night Main Event?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah,
Yep.
because Jesse Ventura, like he brought up, he spoke about Jesse Ventura
Yep.
and like how Jesse Ventura was not with it, but when the announcer's speaking in the ring and he's fucking talking still and he's talking over the announcer and stuff, and some of the shit he was saying as a
Yep.
commentator, as a color commentator, like Jesse, I'm really sorry, mate, you're done. Like, and I get it, yeah, like I love you, Jesse. You're really good at one point, but
It's time.
you've just lost.
It's time.
Your color commentating days are over, mate. You're like
There was a bit.
and yeah.
There was a
What?
bit on. So I just watched the new episode of Botchamania, and so it shows the Drew McIntyre cage match. He goes, "What do you mean you could just walk out the door?" That's and it just kept going on and on and on.
Yeah.
While
that was
Michael
a-
Cole kept trying
yeah.
to say, "That's the rules." It's like,
Yeah.
what's the point in that? Why don't you just have the limo pick him up outside as well and all this?
And
kind of
here's
stuff.
the irony: the steel cage match was that exact way back then too, when it used to be the big
always has
fucking
been.
steel cage. Yeah, it always has been that way. You could always get out the door.
Yeah, exactly. And Michael Cole actually said that he purposely kept his mouth shut because he mentioned how he was undefeated at WrestleMania.
Yep.
And then Ventura asked him, "Who did you fight?" And Cole didn't respond. But if he told him Jerry Lawler, he would have probably got his fucking ass. He would got an ass whipping for it by Ventura. So he just kept his mouth shut. But they were really mollycoddling him, both Cole and McAfee to a degree.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Jim
To this
is
comment.
what's
Jim
wrong with wrestling.
Cornette
He
is what's wrong-
gatekeeps.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jim Cornette. Like again, I do love Jim Cornette. I don't agree with everything. I think he has very sexist views a lot of the times as well regarding women wrestlers, not women in general, just in terms of women wrestlers. But he's too stuck in the past, and he is like when people talk about like really stupid audience who need to know black and white, not in skin color. I mean, just this is black, this is white. That's what Jim Cornette is. He's a
Hand-holding.
simpleton in how he wants story structure. He cannot understand a tweener. He cannot understand that it doesn't matter who's a fucking heel or who's a good guy anymore. It's irrelevant. The story can be told by two bad guys in a ring and two good guys in a ring. It doesn't matter. The audience will dictate and flip on a dime. And he has to accept that. It's not like the days of old where kayfabe and everything was kept tight and
Yeah.
controlled and all this, and people didn't know just how fake wrestling was to a degree, if you know what I
Yep.
mean.
Well, look
And
at Seth
people
Rollins.
got into it.
Seth-
Those days
Seth
are dead,
Rollins-
and Jim needs to accept that.
Seth Rollins is without a doubt a heel. Yeah, I
Yep.
never necessarily felt like there was a heel turn, but he just happened to be heel at this moment in time. People are still singing his fucking song. He still panders to the audience. He's got Braun Breaker as his right hand man. The fans
Yep.
are still going oh as homage to his dad and all of that shit. Like it doesn't fucking matter. And John Cena's been booed for the last 20 fucking years as a face. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
by the way, he did talk about the Muhammad Hassan episode. Did you see that episode, by the way?
I'll check that out. What?
Yeah.
The Muhammad Hassan
No,
episode.
mate. Everything
worth
is so chaotic.
When you get a
Remember
chance,
what-
it's worth to watch. When you get a
I'll
chance,
definitely
it's worth
watch
to
it because I love
Look,
the.
it's a
that
period. What me and Jose were talking about. It's a period of wrestling where we were watching wrestling. Like it happened during our time, which
Yep.
makes it really interesting. And on top of that, he did speak quite frankly about it, and actually mentioned the fact that everybody knows that wrestling is fake, and there was no reason why Muhammad Hassan, Mark Kapani, couldn't come back into wrestling. He didn't need to fucking disappear the way he did because the guy was solid. He didn't necessarily wrestle at the top of the card with Hogan and Taker and Shawn Michaels because he was shit. He wrestled them because he was very good at his gimmick, and he was a good wrestler as well. So the fact that they didn't bring him back in is a fucking joke. You know what I mean? It really is. They could have brought him
Yeah,
back.
Vince, that's just Vince being a prick. He was like, well, I don't need this guy, so I'll just get rid of him.
Why did he go
And
to TNA? I don't get it, man. Like Jesus Christ, he could
yeah,
have gone to
the guy
TNA. He would
just
have been.
became a teacher afterwards.
Yeah, became a principal.
He did,
Yeah.
but he had,
Oh, no, he's a principal. Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
yeah, he had to really reevaluate his life and start again. You know, do a night job. You know, get You mentioned he worked as a UPS delivery driver, so he
Yeah.
could basically fund his fucking education before he
Yeah.
became a teacher. But he shouldn't have. Look, and to a degree, Jim Cornette is kind of happy for him because he didn't wrestle his entire life, so he hasn't got all the injuries and issues that wrestlers have now at the age that he is at now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he could have still been a legitimate player and reevaluated himself. They could have made Sean Davari the bad guy. He could have come back a couple of years later and says, "It was him. I'm not even Arab." And
Yeah.
I fell for Sean Davari's he
Ideologies and shit like
and
that.
ideologies and stuff like that. You know, he brainwashed me and all of this sort of stuff. They could have done all of that shit, and then he could have been a good guy and whatnot. Like,
Yep.
honestly, like they like it's not impossible to reevaluate what they done with Mark Capani. For fuck's sake, Triple H was a blue blood, and all of a sudden he's a fucking rock star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can change that shit. You know, so
Yeah, he got the
Yeah.
rough end of the stick in terms of the fallout because nobody else suffered. He suffered as a result of
Yeah.
it, and it's bullshit. Like, he was a legitimately talented wrestler. He was fantastic on the mic as well. He was so fucking good. Like, he
Yep.
put his all into everything, and in the end, you know, he got screwed. He got screwed out into the business. But yeah, I'm glad that he just went and did something completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy for him as well. But for me, it's always what if, because he had everything to be the top guy in the industry. He really did. You know, and yeah, that'll be a what if forever.
Yeah. They could have had that motherfucker win the belt at SummerSlam 05 and he could have held it till Mania 22. I wouldn't have complained. I would have been like, all right, cool, run with that damn thing.
And the fact that Vince turned him into a terrorist, because what they showed, what they did with him initially is that he was an American. He wasn't the foreign heel. They didn't do the foreign heel gimmick. He was an Arab American, a Muslim American. I mean, even though he's Italian and all that, but they made him an Arab
And
American,
Canadian.
Muslim American.
Yeah.
You know, and all of that, and he felt disgruntled. You know, by the treatment he was getting post 9/11. And that's the route they went down initially with him, you know.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I
they
remember it.
and then they did turn him into a terrorist. You know,
Yep.
he's bringing people in with fucking masks and stuff like that. He's giving that sort of sign. He's fucking telling Davari to fucking be a suicide. Give himself up for the greater cause by fighting the Undertaker and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
But do you know what the thing is? All of that was actually really good. Like, it
Yep.
was genuinely good. You know, yeah, 9/11 happened and all of that. People saw it in bad taste and blah, blah, blah. But it was still really fucking well done because of him.
It was because of the 7/7 bombings that happened that kind of really put a stint to all of that, because Vince was going to let that shit go on and on and on. But the 7/7 bombings then made all of that shit look like bad taste.
Oh, I
You
see.
know, and then he ended up not being on screen for a little while, and the only time he did turn up was on the Great American Bash or something like that, and that's when fucking Undertaker chokeslammed him through the stage, and he was kayfabe killed, and that was the end of Muhammad Hassan.
Yep.
You know?
What a bloody shame.
So-
What a bloody shame.
Yeah,
What an absolute
exactly.
bloody shame. Yeah, look, I'll show you guys my Vice, one of the things I pre-ordered. By the way, before I could do this pre-order, I had to make sure I sold some stuff on eBay, because like this was one I pre-ordered because it might sell out. But now that I've seen it, I don't think it's going to sell out. But you know, it's this.
Oh God.
So this is from like Capcom versus X-Men, and
tight.
not a single fucking Capcom character. Like, Hasbro couldn't be bothered to get the bloody license to have Capcom characters in it. So it's just basically Marvel characters re-fucking released.
Oh, did you
I'm
guys
only
see
pre-ordering
the?
that because of the Psylocke. It's the Jim Lee Psylocke. We finally get it, and it's a good fucking version. The last one was awful, and
Yep.
it's like fucking 56 quid, and I'm stuck with Thanos, so I don't really want Thanos, and nobody's going to
Yep.
want to buy it because everyone's
Yep.
buying that just for Psylocke. But,
Did you guys speaking of video games? Did you guys see that new fucking? It's made by the same people that made Fighters. That new Marvel game coming out. I cannot wait because it's like a 4-on-4.
Oh yeah.
Tag team fighter.
Have you seen that,
I can't
Dan?
wait for that.
Yeah,
to come out.
put it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks really fucking good.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
She
No,
was
that's
like,
what I said.
yeah.
Right, let me just pause, extend, whip it out, share screen.
Whip it,
Right.
whip it, and whip it good.
Marvel talk on a fighter. Casual racist Japanese accent there.
自由のために戦う。
さあ、お手並み拝見といこう。
君のことは親友だと思っているが、やるしかないようだな。
ビブラニウムのシールドだけでは私のアーマーには勝てないぞ。
Oh, Black Panther has
よし、
本気でやるぞ。
失礼。
くらえ。おい、かめろ。耐えてみせろ。
Wow,
任せてちょう
the
だい
art style is amazing.
Yeah.
私の名前の通りマーベラス
親愛なるリンディ、スパイダーマンだ。スパイリーセンス。
I fucking love the Japanese mixed with the English as well.
俺とやり合うってか。調子が出てきたぜ。俺様の名はスターロード。胸に刻んでおきだ。
Let's go. The Jim Dog died.
援護する風よ荒れ狂え たとえ人々に嫌われていても私は
Hello,
世
Rick
界
B.
を守る
Oh, is that Galfron in the background? Whatever his name is. Argon.
I stole him. Beat him up. Amazing.
正義のために。
Well, anyway, we get the gist of it.
Yeah, that's going to be a day one get because Arc System Works know how to make fighting games.
What did they make?
They made Guilty Gear. They made Dragon Ball Fighters.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they've made a
They look
couple.
good.
They've made a few good games. Yeah.
But I guarantee you're gonna have to buy packs for characters and all this kind of
Oh,
shit. for sure.
guaranteed. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a fighting game.
Yeah, I mean,
They're-
I love the art style. I love the look of it. I mean, I'm not gonna get it because I'm not a fan of beat 'em ups. But if I was to get it, I'd want there to be the Japanese voiceover.
Yep.
Because it's just brilliant. I love it. I love when the way they say the English words and it's Spider-Man and all this kind of shit. It's just entertainment within itself.
I got a couple of trailers I want to show you, but what you showed, Jose, kind of reminded me of this older trailer. I want to remind ourselves again. Because
Does it have copyright? Oh no, it's a game. It's a game.
It's a game. It's a game.
Just turn the volume down, I think, a little bit. It was kind of
Yeah.
blaring. Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Okay,
dude.
This is only 35 seconds, but try and watch as much of this as you can.
Okay.
Take it all in.
Oh.
Yep, Virtua Fighter still continues to be the most boring beat 'em up out in the fucking world.
You weren't impressed by that trailer?
No, not really. I mean, the graphics is great, and the
I thought the gameplay looked amazing with the blocking.
It looks
So,
solid.
yeah, okay, that's cool. Don't get me wrong, that's cool. But in terms of a beat 'em up, it's Virtua Fighter has always been boring for me. Of all of them, it's been my least favorite of the lot, and nothing's changed here. Look at the pacing. Look how fucking blocky and hard it is to kind of move around and like laborious, and it looks beautiful.
No, but for me, I don't want the block to be just like this. If you're actually parrying and then bringing in the punch over the parry, that for me, which is what we saw briefly in that trailer, that's some cool shit. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's cool. But overall gameplay, in terms of longevity,
It's just not for you.
it's not for me. It's not for me. Virtua Fighter has just never been. I was always my biggest two were always Mortal Kombat and Tekken. Like those
Speaking
are my favorites.
The studio of Mortal Kombat finally got their heads out of their asses and are like, all right, now we're going to re-release like the first 4 Mortal Kombats plus the Game Boy Advance games. And I'm like, all right, cool. So they're finally giving us a collection. But what pisses me off, we don't get Mortal Kombat versus Shaolin Monks, which is arguably the greatest Mortal Kombat beat-em-up game ever made.
No.
We don't get that.
Versus just Shaolin Monks. It was Mortal Kombat, which is
we don't get Mortal
Kombat game ever made.
It is.
How we never got a sequel.
I'll never know.
Have you played Shaolin Monks, Zam?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think I have.
Oh, dude, it's fucking awesome. Yeah,
it's an adventure game. It's like like a fighter. It's kind of like isometric 3D kind of thing. It was fucking awesome. It's the best Mortal Kombat game ever. You play as either Kung Lao or Liu Kang.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That seemed familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
So I did a trailer reaction to this game, which is the new James Bond game, which I really want to show you, Jose.
Okay, yeah, and I know it's made by the same people that did Hitman, so that kind of.
His parents cut their own rope to save him. He watched them fall, then found his way off that mountain. He was 11 years old.
He then started a grand tour of every major boarding school in Britain.
Always at the top of his class.
Always at odds with authority. Same thing in the Navy.
His superiors all praise his instincts.
And they're all in need of early retirement. Nobody knows what to do with him, Mom.
No. And I suspect he feels the same way. But what he did in Iceland...
What he did in Iceland was insubordination. It was ill-disciplined.
He's a maverick. He plays by his own rules.
He only survived thanks to blind luck. Give me one good reason to put him in the program, Mom.
I think you just covered them all, Greenway. It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet without a target. Let's give him one.
An American.
Oh, this is woke as fuck. This is woke as fuck. They got that motherfucking looking.
Do you have
clean
an
as fuck.
appointment?
The name's Bond.
James Bond. He's with me.
And you are? Don't think we've had the pleasure.
Now let's not get ahead of ourselves, James.
So you shouldn't have.
We're facing a situation of the utmost delicacy. I need all my pieces on the board.
009 is a master
Hitman
manipulator.
gameplay.
Whatever the end game is, we won't see it coming.
Jet lag. Gets me every time.
She's not your friend, Bond. She's an asset.
With respect, Mom. To hell with that.
They love playing the Majesty Secret Service with Nonce.
What's that, Sam?
They love playing the on the Majesty
What do you
Secret
do,
Service
James?
music.
Lately,
Of course, always.
headhunting.
Yeah.
I'm loving the locations and everything. You know.
Yeah, I mean, if you play the Hitman games, they always have great locations. My only fear with this is that it better not be like a Last of Us scenario where it's narrative interspersed with cutscenes. Cut it, damn! Cut it! 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 Cut it!
Yep.
Because yeah, copyright music. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, but yeah, overall, I'm gonna wait and see the gameplay on this. I want to see at least the first level, and then I've got an idea of like, okay, I might check this one out.
I've done a trailer reaction to it, a really in-depth one.
Yeah.
To this as well, and like I don't want this game to be 100% like Hitman, and because if you watch a James Bond film, you know, yeah, he is stealthy, but at the same time, shit does kick off, and he's a fucking one-man army, and you're blowing the fuck out.
Oh
of
yeah,
everything.
for
And,
sure.
Yeah,
you got to get the balance right.
You got to get the balance right, and you ever played the game Everything or Nothing?
Best Bond game ever made.
Best Bond game ever.
Best Bond game ever, and I really hope this game harbors elements from that, because James Bond is not like a GoldenEye or a Nightfall or whatever, where it's a first-person shoot 'em up. It's an experience. There's a whole variety of different elements that gives you a James Bond experience, and I want that in this game where you're doing infiltration, you're undercover, you're mixing, you're mingling, extracting information out of people and stuff like that. You're using your gadgets, all of these elements and moments to give you that full-on James Bond experience.
Right.
Well,
and that's what I want.
This is why IO Interactive were literally the best people for this job, because Hitman has so many elements of Bond to it. Of course, the difference is, you know, you're just a fucking hitman and all this kind of shit. But in terms of the style, the slick, the gadgetry, the approach to the missions and all of that, the one thing this game must have is that when you replay the missions, you can approach things differently every time. Because for me, I still play the Hitman games. There hasn't been a new Hitman game for 5 years, and I still play them all the time. It's like one of my main go-to, because stealth games are my absolute favorite, and it's the only fucking stealth game around. But it's not always just about stealth; it's about everything, and everything or nothing is the best Bond game, because it had a little bit of everything, and it felt like James Bond. But they
need to be remastered.
Yeah, they need to remaster that.
Yeah,
100%. But it's EA, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
they built that game on the sole purpose of it is a canon story to the Pierce Brosnan run of James Bond. They had Maya sing the fucking theme song. They had different
actors the Bond girl as well
in it. Yeah, she's the Bond girl as well. So, you know, they built it from the ground up to be a big thing, and it was a phenomenal game. And
you jump off a fucking cliff and skydive to save fucking Maya when she gets thrown off the cliff.
Yeah,
and you're shooting at people who are on these balconies as you're jumping down and to save her, and then you use your rappel at the last minute to catch after you catch. Like what? That is James Bond. Like so much of it.
But you know what?
Like oh my god, you're gone.
But you know what's going to hold us over till then? Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta. I can't wait. Not wait for that to come out.
Can't wait. Looks amazing.
I am so ready for August to get here.
Sorry, just before we change on that, Rick said the Bond looks like a wanker. Look, his appearance. You know, one thing I'm happy with is that they're giving Bond a unique look for a start. You know, he doesn't look like any of the previous Bonds, and I'm for that. This is the video game version of Bond, and maybe the actor who actually did the capturing for this, he might end up being Bond because he's 30 years old. He's young enough to play Bond for years to come, and also that this is an origin story, which we never really had in James Bond. I like the fact that we're having Bond breaking into MI6. This is his first mission as a spy. You know, he's earning his stripes. He needs to be young in that aspect. I'm all for this. You know.
Yeah. Like I said, for me, I at least want to see what the first level's going to be like, and if the first level's fucking awesome, I'm going to buy it.
What I'm thinking it might be like a mini sandbox where you have to go through, infiltrate things, and figure things out, and get information.
Yeah, well, no, it's not going to be like one level. It's not going to be one level. Not
It's going to be continuous. Yeah, that's how I see it
like,
with this
just
one.
like have you played the Hitman games, Zach?
Yeah, I've played one.
Yeah,
I've played one.
I own them. I own all three of them. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
They're all mini sandboxes.
That's
Yeah.
right. I get what you mean. Yeah, like mini sandboxes, not like one big like singular level.
Indiana Jones game was like that as well. By the
Yeah,
way,
it'd be like that. You know, big level where you got to do different things, infiltrate, like Splinter Cell was and things like that. You know, that kind of stuff. So
what do you mean by better not be woke? What does that mean? What does that mean, dude?
Yeah, it better not be woke as fuck.
Like
we
what?
We gonna have problems. They got
better not have black people in it.
Yeah, no black people. Wait a minute, I'm black. Yeah, I don't.
Or chicks.
Yeah,
you know, unless he's banging them.
Yeah.
In fact, no chicks at all. He better be banging dudes. Otherwise, the game's going to be fucking woke.
Yep.
Wait, hang on.
Wait, what? Huh? Yeah.
Wait,
that's not right.
He better be gay. Otherwise, it's going to be woke.
You better make it lame and gay as fuck. That's what it better be, like Star Wars.
Yeah. IO's just, they're gonna fucking smash out of the park, man. I've been waiting for this game for years. I've literally, every time we've done a thing talking about streaming, you can catch our last time we talked about gaming was like I was saying, where the fuck is this game? Where is this game? And we finally got a small glimpse into it. The storyline is it's a little bit Americana, like he's a maverick, he doesn't play by the rules and all this kind of shit.
Yep.
But I didn't, Hitman. I didn't play Hitman for the fucking storyline. The storyline was arse. You know what I mean? It was generic, bland.
But the gameplay is fucking great with Hitman. Yeah,
it's all about the fucking gameplay.
Yep.
The opposite of Mafia 3, where Mafia 3 had an amazing story, one of the best storylines to a game ever, but the gameplay was mediocre.
That's another one I'm actually looking forward to. Is the Old Country. I can't wait for that one to come out either. Mafia, the Old Country. Yeah, that one looks actually pretty good. It looks like they're kind of returning to form.
Yeah, that's one of those where I'll get like.
Well, I thought Everything or Nothing had a fantastic story, and they made Willem Dafoe as the Bond villain, and they made that model, I forgot her name now, that German model, as like an evil Bond girl. Heidi Klum as the evil Bond girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like he had a variety of other Bond girls he was banging. You know what I mean? And gadgets in his car and stuff like that.
They fucking they went all in. It was
like there's a guy shooting at you on this ledge. How are you gonna get him? Well, I'm gonna press this button and he's gonna fall into this swamp pit, stuff like that. Like brilliant. Like, oh my god,
and the little spider gadget that you had to crawl around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of that.
I don't know if you guys ever played multiplayer on it. One of the best multiplayer experiences I've ever had. It was hard as fuck. Like me and my mate, we got stuck on a level where we had to basically redo the whole thing because we were getting to that point of the level. It's when you're in this big silo and the enemies are kind of coming down. We couldn't get past it. We had to redo the whole game.
That's kind of like
a specific amount of life and energies and all this kind of stuff to make it.
That's kind of like that one level. Like I don't know. That's kind of like that one level. Like I don't know if y'all ever played the Mission Impossible games for like N64 way back in the day. There was the one level where it was like you're in this white fucking room and you cannot fucking move. Like you got to be you have to do something and like not get detected. And my cousins and I could never fucking beat that level as hard as it was. And it was like, man.
Yeah, there were moments like that in gaming which just frustrated the hell out of me. I kept thinking to myself, what am I fucking doing wrong here? Why can't I get past all of this? There's a video game, by the way, back in the day called Dragon's Lair. Have you ever played that?
Oh, yeah, Dragon's Lair? Oh, yeah.
Game. I'm going to go to my cat 1 second. Yeah,
that game.
Fuck that game.
It's
not even a game. It's an interactive story.
Yeah, it's an interactive story, but it was very original for its time back in the early 80s, Ginger. And
it was in the 90s.
Yep.
Nah, it's an 80s game, dude.
All right, let's settle this shit right now.
Yeah.
Google it.
I got it.
Fucking yelling at me. There you go.
Okay, Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair. When the fuck did it start? Give me a second. It started in 1983.
Told you.
Shit.
Told you. Early 80s. I knew it.
Wow. All right, I'm not as old as you, so my memory isn't.
No doubt, but regardless, a game to come out in 1983 like that, which is an animated game, which is basically just it gives you different cuts regarding whether you move the joystick in time or not. You know what I mean? impossible to fucking play. I died all the time at the beginning, but you can watch Dragon's Lair on YouTube while somebody completes it properly, and I did that, and the game's over in like 7 minutes if you do it right.
It was that fucking hard that it was only a 7-minute game. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like if you watch it all the way through.
Shit, how do you think people were pissed when you could find the warp whistles in Mario 3? People were like, what the fuck? I could have cut all the way through this and I just did these two things.
I still
you
can't
not got your money
believe that game came out all the way back in '83. I thought it was like
1983. 1983.
By the way, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadow now, and there is I've got my characters really well like developed now. Like they can do a lot of crazy shit, but my god, the game is at a stage now where I think to myself, you know what? I wouldn't mind the ending. That's
the problem with Ubisoft games. They never get the balance right. They fucking drag things, especially the new kind of style of Assassin's Creed games. Like Origins, I was so fucking bored, and I was like 60 hours in. I was like, for fuck's sake.
The Valhalla is the worst one, but like the fact is that there's these collectibles and stuff like that. Like collectibles are some of the most annoying things in gaming. Like I don't like doing collectibles. Like I want to be doing assassinations and stuff like that, and I want unique ways. Like my approach is getting better and stuff like that. And it can be fun at times and stuff like that. But yeah, it's all right. I'm happy. I'm happy playing it and knowing that I can just get on it, play it, kill a few people, get off, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and playing as Yasuke, I mean, it's fun in a way. Like I'm not sure if I like the idea of playing as somebody who is a samurai and not an assassin, but he's actually
because he's black.
No, but it's a good way of like approaching things. You think to yourself, you know what? I can't be asked to stealth this shit. I want to fucking just run in there and
fight.
Yeah, and it's a good alternative, and yeah, so
yeah.
And some of the bosses are really tough as well. So you think to yourself, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do a one assassin kill boss with Neo. I might as well just go in there and use brute force against this guy instead.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So.
Yeah, I just bought what's the name of the fucking game? Sniper Elite 5, and because it's piss cheap, it's like 12 quid. I got it, and I'm like, I'm so fucking glad that I never bought this game like day one. I mean, I never would have anyway because of my experience with the previous. I like the Sniper Elite games, but they're not fucking worth 60 quid. Like I completed it in essentially a day, basically the way I played it. But in one day I was done.
Cheeto's home.
There's not
you
much.
To jump on.
I just got home. Is it worth jumping on? No, not really. I'll be coming off in a bit.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean that game is like a 25-30 quid game. It's not fucking worth full price. That's all I wanted to say about that. But we did have State of Play. That came out, and
if he wants to jump on and talk about that real quick, I mean that's kind of it.
I mean, yeah, Cheeto, if you do want to come on and talk about Sony State of Play, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
I had no idea, by the way. It went under the fucking radar for me. I know.
Had I would have thought of it, I would have been like, let's do a quick stream on it. But yeah, I completely missed it.
I fell asleep. It started at 10 UK, but I was asleep when it happened, so I just woke up the next day.
Yeah.
And just watched it. It's the best one they've had in a long time because the last like 5 or 6 State of Plays have bored the shit out of me.
Yeah, we're giving you update 5.0.
And this kind of stuff. Exactly.
And yo, still no Wolverine news. Like, what the fuck? It was like that.
And there's still no Wolverine news.
Don't care anymore.
I think ever since it got leaked, they said, fuck it. We're just not even going to do it.
I think it's dead. I think they just moved on to Spider-Man 3.
Yep. Yeah. I think they said, fuck it. They're like, yeah. Final Fantasy Tactics apparently was a big fucking hit with people.
Was it Sucker Punch?
It is, because people are boring fucking familiarity, man. People just love going back to old shit. You know what I mean? So of course, Final Fantasy Tactics.
Was it Sucker Punch who were doing the Wolverine game?
Yep.
No.
No. Actually,
it's the guys that done Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Not Sucker
wasn't that Sucker Punch?
No, Sucker Punch are the ones doing the Ghost of Tsushima games.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's
Insomniac.
Insomniac.
Yep.
Yeah.
My baby.
Yeah, Wolverine.
And-
I don't think is going to happen. I doubt it at this point.
Yeah,
I'm not fussed. I'm not fussed anymore. I don't really care. Like it's.
I mean, look.
Yeah.
To be fair, I only want it because it's going to spin off to X-Men, but fucking hell, it needs to break away from the bloody shitty gameplay that Spider-Man 2 games had, because the Spider-Man games got boring really quick, and when they intersperse everything with cutscenes, it really pisses me off. So they can't do that with Wolverine. Otherwise, I won't bother with it. Like
too many quick time events as well.
Yeah, cut down on the quick time.
Events. I'll just share. So this game looks good, apart from having an annoying kid on your back. So this was Pragmata, which, fun fact, Pragmata means things in Greece.
Okay.
So you've learned.
The future. It isn't just a dream. It's a promise. One we're turning into reality. With our third generation of Luna filament and advanced generative AI, we're reshaping the line between dreams and reality. We create life for our future. Delphi Corporation.
Are they like the Wayland? Are they like Wayland Yutani and all that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And why are these things trying to kill us?
Always an evil corporation.
There you are. All better.
You patched me up.
I am DI03367. They are pragmatic.
Hang on a second. Don't you have a name or something?
Oh, okay, Ratchet and Clank, but with human beings.
Hell, pretty
much. Yeah.
I think I can help.
Yeah, I mean the gameplay looks fucking brilliant, but having an annoying kid on your back.
Threats.
Like, fuck's sake.
Neutralize us?
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through.
Yep.
What the?
Bypassing first and second firewalls. Hooking control protocols.
I already hate this kid.
Initiating hack.
Hello, Rowan Ash.
Hello.
Welcome to the stream.
D.I.
I said I am
Okay.
Yeah, and the rest is just more story. But the gameplay little nuggets that we got. Hey, Rowan, looks good.
This is one of those. I could wait for a sale and then play it once and then be done with it. I could see it being that kind of game. Like you'll have a good time with it for like a week or so, and then you'll be like, "All right, I beat the story. Now what?"
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, because it looks good, but not enough to get it day one, like you said.
Yeah, but that was like the main standout. But yeah, still no fucking Wolverine.
Got that Death Stranding vibe, like that Kojima vibe.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's been. Yep.
Are you not coming on, Cheeto?
There's no point now. I'm gonna.
You guys are gonna go to sleep.
I'm crashing out here, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
We enough.
Just quickly, just to say, fuck EA as well, because they shut down whatever the name of that studio was, who were former employees of Monolith Studios, of course, the studio that was shut down that did the Shadows of Mordor games.
No.
And so they moved on. They're working on the Black Panther game, and they've cancelled the Black Panther game and shut down the studio.
Yep, Black Panther's dead.
EA being fucking EA. So they killed that. So there's two different Black Panthers. That was a different Black Panther to the one that I'm actually waiting for, which is the 1942 one with Captain America and all this kind of stuff. That one's still being done. This one was a different one. So, but yeah, fuck them.
Would that be a co-op game? Black Panther and Captain America will be a co-op.
Yeah, that one.
No, that'll be.
That's
cool.
not being cancelled. That one's still being made. That one's still in development.
As long as it's better than Marvel's Avengers, I can take it. I'm good with that.
Oh, it'll take a lot to be worse than that. That's for sure.
I really would love another version of Squadrons from Star Wars game. You know,
spaceship one,
the dogfighting and stuff like that. Yeah. Squadrons itself is really good, but it just really lacks depth. There's not much depth to it, which is a real shame. You know, only a handful of levels, handful of ships. I want way more depth. I want a really good story mode, an online story mode as well. You can play with your mates and stuff like that. A variety of different ships. You know, maybe escorting cargo and stuff like that. You know, like you have in Overwatch. You know, when you're escorting something and stuff like that. Like I really want that. I love those games. They're beautiful. When you're playing in space and all of that, it's just great fun. You know.
Yeah.
For me, the way EA are going and like all these Ubisoft and Take-Two and all this kind of shit, they're just gonna fucking stick with familiar franchises now. They're gonna branch out less and less. They're just gonna milk every established franchise till it dies. You're gonna get FIFA till the day you die, and you're gonna get
NBA, WWE, Madden, college football,
all that crap. Yep. No one's going to be buying it, and they're still going to be bloody churning it out because there's always some dickhead that goes and buys the packs and all the microtransactions that make them fucking money, and we'll end up with just absolute no innovation, no new games, because again, these studios, they buy up all these bloody smaller studios and they shut them down and all that. Like Codemasters, EA bought Codemasters, the legends that gave us like Colin McRae Racing and Micro Machines and all this kind of stuff, and we've seen nothing from them. So they're probably going to end up getting shut down. It'll be go by Codemasters unless they can break away. So yeah, it just fucking pisses me off. But anyway, that is all.
All right.
Thanks to everyone that joined us. And before we sign off, I will give you my little masterpiece again.
Greatest breakup since Rachel and Ross. Once the welfare queen, the other's the boss. They'll rip each other apart like Rain Man fighting Gump. It's the end of Elon and Trump.
You just have to repeat. Yeah, we're back in about a month's time, guys, as well. That's probably how we're going to do it.
Yeah, do it every month. It's like, I mean, I can't do this every week. It's like I just can't commit to anything. I'm all over the fucking place.
And I do too much on this channel as it is to do this every week as well.
Yeah. And literally, what are we going to do? Come on here every week and say, "Oh, Trump did this, Trump did that." No, so yeah, we'll try to do this every month.
And with wrestling, it gives us more time to digest the shit if we still watch it, because it's like we don't know what the fuck we're doing this summer as far as wrestling goes, because it's just kind of right now at the moment.
Yeah, mate. Exactly. So on that note, I want to thank everyone that joined us for the stream. Thank you to my co-hosts, and join us for many other many